Hello everyone, this is Chike Gowda, Assistant Professor, Department of MBA, Cambridge Institute of Technology, Bangalore. Welcome to video classes. In my previous video, we discussed about enterprise DCF model, wherein we discussed on how to calculate different enterprise values in calculating value of a firm for different purposes. Now, in today's video, we'll discuss on the next concept, relative valuation, and another important concept of corporate valuation. Today, let us know about two very important aspects of relative valuation. The first one is the meaning of relative valuation, wherein I'll be discussing about what does it mean by relative valuation with relevant examples. The next thing that I'm going to discuss about is steps involved in relative valuation of a business firm. So what are the different steps involved in valuing a firm using relative valuation method that we are going to discuss about, right? Let us discuss first the meaning of relative valuation. In an enterprise DCF model, we assume the cash flow as a base for valuing a firm's value, but it is not always preferable to go with cash flow as a basis for valuation of a business firm. It's been proved in many situations. For that reason, we should assume the market situations, wherein there is a concept used in relative valuation which says like this: similar assets ought to be sold at similar prices. So this is a very important quote with relative valuation. That means similar assets are to be sold in the market at a similar prices. That means you cannot sell same natured, same featured assets at different prices in a same market. You are not fit for that market if you sell like that. That creates havoc in the market. The reason is, when you have assets of same nature in the market, and if your people are selling at different rates, the person who sells at a lower rate will have more sales than the person who sells at higher rates. That nobody can achieve good market things in the market. For that, we need to have a concept of similar assets to be sold at a similar prices in the market. That is what relative valuation means to. Also, relative valuation says that we need to price the assets in the market, could be it's a product or service, in comparison with the existing assets, or that means a product or services in the same market. Compare with other products and services and price yourself so that you can put yourself in the market in a better way. So in the same lines, when we are valuing a firm, whether you are buying or selling the business, you should use the concept of pricing at similar prices for all the products or services or the business firm which are of same nature. Then you're going to be in a right position to value a firm, whether you are buying it or selling it. If you consider only cash flows or something else, you cannot be able to. For example, now I will take an example of COVID-19. If you take COVID-19 as an example of it, the situation was totally different. If you take two situations, wherein before COVID-19 and after COVID-19, if I have to go for valuing a firm, the cash flows before COVID-19 were highly appreciated, were really, really good, because there were good number of sales, you could able to do it. But after COVID-19, your sales are fully dull. Sales are fully nil. You can call it as. Then there are no cash inflows at all. Then if I consider cash inflow as a base for valuing my firm, then here my value for firm is 100. Then after COVID-19, my value firm is 0. I cannot value my firm at a right price. This is going to be very, very wrong assessment process. For that reason, if I simply consider cash inflow as the base for assessing my firm, certainly it's going to be very wrong. This is the best example current situation that we can take it to, and we can use it for valuing firms. At the same time, you can ask me one more question. How can you sustain with relative valuation? For example, you have a flat owning by you. For example, before COVID-19, it was costing 50 lakh rupees, right? The other asset, for example, A side, A persons, B person side also selling at, or flat was selling at 50 lakh rupees only. There was no difference between you and your neighbor flat. But at the same time, after COVID also, if I go and ask the flat rate, A's flat, if it is selling at 10 lakh rupees, since there is a lot of impact of COVID-19 and the prices have come down, so A's side is, or flat is selling at 10 lakh rupees, even B's flat would also be selling at 10 lakh rupees only. It cannot be 5 lakh, 50 lakh. The reason is you are using the relative valuation. Means if A is neighbor to me selling the flat at 50 lakh rupees, because it's not a long distance, my flat also can be sold at 50 lakh rupees. Now, due to the impact of COVID-19, my neighbor's flat is selling at 10 lakh rupees, then same impact is on to me also, then my flat could also be selling at 10 lakh rupees only. Nobody can deny for it. So my side is selling at 50 lakh, my neighbor selling at 10 lakh. It's impossible, next to impossible I can say. Then the relative valuation is one of the very best method of valuing firms, wherein the buyer and seller both will have edge in terms of pricing. So this is how the meaning of relative valuation can be discussed. Here, the one thing that we need to remember, that similar assets are to be sold at similar prices, and value the assets could be product or service at a relative prices of same nature product or services. That is what relative valuation means to. Now, next, we'll move on to the next concept, that is steps involved in relative valuation.